Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Mike Paramore is in the studio in a nearly missed interview to promote his weekend show at the Dayton Funny Bone. We learn a lot about life in a short period of time. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
Brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right, it is Thursday. It is after 10. I shouldn't be here. I'm a Wednesday show, but it's it's time for a special edition of the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. As always, barely got enough coffee in me to function. I almost forgot about this altogether. I almost forgot I was supposed to be here. In fact, I did forget. I got home about midnight last night, and I'm milling around the house doing whatever, thinking, got a leisurely day tomorrow. I can just sleep in till get up around 10, get a big pot of coffee and have breakfast. And about 9 o'clock, my phone rings and wakes me up, and it's the station manager. You remember you have Mike Paramore in for an interview at 10, don't you? I said, no, I don't. But, I said, just cancel.
Well, I'm happy that my presence requires so much urgency.
I called him back and I said, no, I'll be there. I'll just smell a little gamey. So if that's probably just me or these chairs, because these chairs haven't been cleaned in forever.
Well, you do. It is a tangy twinge in here, but not nothing I can't handle.
As long as it's just a tiny twinge and it's not like just overpowering. Because I did spray some deodorant on.
Yeah, no,
just a little more than usual.
It's just a light flirting of disgusting.
Yeah, just a slight hint, just a taste in the air of, oh my God.
Yeah, just enough to know. Okay, Don's here.
Yeah, which I like that wherever I go. I just like people to know, yep, he's here, and just not this much. This is an unusual.
This is excessive.
This is a new flavor I'm trying.
A little excessive.
Mike Paramore, very funny comedian, sitting in the stadium. See, well, they said we have a sports show at 10 or 11, so I'm out of it. I haven't, like I said, I got up, I threw some pants on, I rushed here, and just now got some coffee.
We do appreciate the pants. That's
well, yeah, that's good. Well, only for you. My normal show on Wednesdays, no pants.
I also went through a lot to come to this show. I was doing a corporate gig in where was I at? Toledo. That got pretty risque, and then came down last night so I can get up and come do this this morning.
So you had to rush.
I made you guys a priority. I made where is Dayton and
I was going to try to cancel.
Where am I? Is this Dayton or is? Yeah,
it's Dayton Fairborn-ish.
Okay. Yeah, does the Fairborn people not want to associate with Dayton people? They want to be different.
It may be the other way around. I'm not sure. There's some kind of disconnect there.
Okay,
I've never been 100% certain of the Dayton Fairborn relationship. It's kind of like Fairborn's one of their stepkids, and they just really
gotcha. Okay.
They don't get the same for Christmas that all the rest of the kids do.
Gotcha. So that's all the cute girls are in Fairborn.
Right. Well, at the college. The rest of Fairborn, no, but at the college, yeah, that's where.
Well, that's probably illegal, or at least frowned upon. I think maybe because I'm 30.
Well, yeah, that's. I'm 41. I'm
41, hanging out on campus. Nobody complains about that.
Not yet.
Well,
I'm not
slightly creepy.
It just slightly creepy. That's slightly creepy, slightly stinky. That's me today.
Especially with the optional pants. We just that's. It's probably super creepy though.
Yeah, I usually wear pants when I'm walking through the halls. That way, it cuts down on complaints.
Cuts down
on them. Gotcha. They don't completely go away. The complaints never completely go away. I mean, it could be worse. There's a lot of worse things out there than just being an old man on a college campus.
You're not a real person unless people are complaining about you. I always say that when I do my college shows. I always tell people, to try to embrace their weirdness when I do my college shows. They really don't. Like, college kids be trying to like hide it a little bit, but every now and again you get some really weird ones. Like I heard like this one dude told me that he loves to walk when nobody's looking. He loves to walk on all 4 feet. That's the terminology he used.
He said all 4 feet.
Right. That's what he used. Right. Exactly. So that means once he is on his hands and
they
feet,
are no longer hands. That's dedication. That's commitment. I
mean, listen. I think you should embrace your weirdness, people. That's what makes you different. I had a couple of weird ones. One guy told me that he does impressions, but his only impression, he didn't do impressions. He does one impression, and it's of a character that was on SpongeBob one time. That's it. That's the only. He does an impression of a SpongeBob character that appeared one time, and I'm like, if anybody recognizes that impression, you should run immediately because that person's not stable. They saw the one impression that you were able to do is on that show now. No.
Yeah, and apparently they've watched it enough to have it burned into their memory. So that did he at least do it well, or do you know? Do you recognize?
I have no idea. I don't know if you could tell by my voice, but I'm kind of black, so I don't know a lot of SpongeBob characters.
That's okay. I'm kind of white and I don't.
I know.
I think that's more of an age thing.
Who do I know? I know Squidward.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I know Squidward. I don't know what he looks like, but I know that's a person on SpongeBob.
And there's something about Krabby Patties.
That's my nephew, Krabby Patties.
Something I've heard something about them. I don't know.
Krabby Patties.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I heard it. I was like,
that sounds like an incurable disease.
It does. And
or a very angry older white lady.
Yeah, where are you going? I gotta go to Krabby Patties. I threw a baseball through her window last summer. I gotta do her yard work.
Yeah, no. I don't know about Krabby Patty, but I do know Squidward. My nephews told me about Squidward. Apparently, he's very angry.
Oh, okay. Well, angry and crabby. There's a theme.
So maybe he's responsible for the patties.
Could be.
Or Patty's mood, depending on how you look at it.
They got into it with Patty years ago, and she hasn't been the same since.
Got into it with Krabby Patty.
Hopefully, he's not the one that gave her the crab. But that could definitely explain the mood either way.
It's very uncomfortable.
I've heard.
You don't look like your voice at all.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
Well, you have the voice of a very attractive man. And I'm not saying that you're not like an ugly dude.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're not an ugly dude, but it doesn't match. You're a debonair dude, bearded. You know what I mean? Like you look like you're cleaning your life up. Like you were.
I look like I've already hit rock bottom, and I'm on the way back. I take that as a compliment,
right?
Actually,
like you look like maybe you used to be homeless, but not anymore.
Yep,
now you're like
back together,
right? Now, because there's people do that all the time. Like that's a good thing. Like
especially in the comedy world, there's a lot of formerly homeless comics.
That's kind of a Cleveland thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Golden Voice?
I remember him. Yeah,
like he was
guy,
super homeless, and like now people's like his YouTube voice, and then he got real famous, and now he's wearing good clothes and new teeth and everything.
Well, I got something to hope for.
You're a set of new teeth away from being amazing, Dom.
That's awesome. All I need is the teeth, and I'm good to go. Man, that really cuts down on my list that I had. Things I need to get my life together.
Because women love projects, so I don't think you have a lot to do. Women love projects. You got to leave something for the girl to take credit for.
Oh, so I've screwed up by cleaning myself up.
Right? Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that at all.
That must be why my wife's mad all the time. She's got nothing to fix.
Right? Yeah, girls love that.
Because I'm perfect, other than the teeth.
I'm sure she would say the same.
Oh, all the time. All the time.
I'm sure she can't praise you enough.
Lately she doesn't talk to me, so that's.
Well, listen, some people would claim that a victory. I don't
Oh, yeah,
know.
absolutely.
I'm not married, so I don't know, but I do hear it's not the best form of interaction with another person.
No,
This
no,
marriage.
not at all. 'Cause, we used to get
There
along
are better
great.
forms of
Yeah.
interaction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there are two things I miss most as a married man, as the touch of a woman and the kind words. That's
Oh my gosh, that sounds so depressing. That sounds so depressing.
And
And then women wonder why men don't want to commit.
Yeah,
We don't want to
yeah.
commit because marriage is a work. It's a job.
It's yeah, and it doesn't pay well. It's,
But I want to do it though. I want to
see,
get
I can
married
say
one
these
day.
things because I know my wife doesn't listen to me.
She
When I'm
doesn't
on the
listen to
radio, or off the radio, she does not listen to me. So.
She just kind of like tunes you out. I get it.
Yeah.
Like literally and figuratively.
Which is upsetting because she actually married me for the voice.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
she
no.
heard my voice first. She didn't know this was what came with it.
See what I'm saying? Exactly. Exactly. You have the voice of somebody with a promising future. And then you see you and you're like, okay, I get
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
It's not all
He
right.
had a promising future in 1993. And now it's all over. He does not have a promising past, and it's too late for the
Well,
future. Man, now I'm really depressed.
But you can, but you could always fix that. Like you could always just rely on the voice. Like just go outside the bedroom door, crack it, and then like speak to her from the hallway, and like
yeah,
that
just-
could be your like foreplay.
Yeah,
foreplay. Just
whisper sweet nothing from
into
the
the
hallway.
door,
I'd have
right.
to shout him a little bit.
exactly,
Yeah, as long as she doesn't have to look, we're good.
exactly, right. Just get under the covers and like not show your face.
I'll have to try that. Man,
And
this
just-
is a relationship advice.
Read
here
a
on the mic.
list of things that you're going to do around the house, and she'll get turned on.
Yeah, I think that would be. The problem is I'm never home anyways,
It's like.
which kind of helps her out because we talk on the phone more than we do in person, so she
Wow.
doesn't have to look at me that much.
Well, but I heard, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's really untrue. That's, 'cause I'm sure she's as mad at me now as she was 3 days ago.
Dang. See, this is why, I don't know. I want to find a lady. I think I'm old enough now, about 30 years old. And I want to find a lady. I want to put some babies in that lady. I want to have a mature life, man. But it just doesn't sound fun at all. It just doesn't.
It's overrated.
It doesn't sound fun. I travel a lot though.
Yeah,
So
as-
maybe
as
if I can find a
traveling-
girl who likes
yeah.
to travel, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you'd have to get one that's like has the same type of not a comedian because that's
Well, I hear it depends. If they meet you as a comedian, I heard that if you try to like start comedy after you've met somebody, that's pretty much a divorce.
oh yeah.
But like if they meet you while you're doing it,
especially if you start comedy and then buy a comedy club. That's that's the kicker right there. That'll end it.
that's testing her loyalty.
Exactly.
I
She's-
just couldn't. I don't mind the constantness of a relationship. I think that's awesome. I think that would be kind of cool if you can find somebody you can stand to be around for that long. I just don't like. I just can't. There's this certain type of feeling when you're around somebody and you have to entertain them.
oh yeah.
Like if I'm around a stranger, like I'm always worried. Okay, I probably should make them laugh or something like that. And I just fear like my life is going to be like that.
Yeah, you always have to go home.
Like,
Ah!
Right. Like she's just going to be waiting there. Like, all right, do something funny. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, shoot, I just want to.
Well, yeah, that's the tough part because sometimes you don't want to be entertaining. Sometimes you want to sit around and watch football in your underwear, and that's when
I heard they frown upon that.
they do
They frown upon that.
even more so without the underwear. That
Well, that's
I
just
had a
just
friend
access.
that I had a friend that was a big gamer, and this guy's like 50 some years old, and he was a big gamer. He was big into whatever whatever they are, whatever those kids are doing nowadays. Of course, he was older than me and doing it, but he apparently he went to take a shower and he forgot that the game was still on. That's how into the game he got, but he just forgot he had it running. And it was one of the war games. And he started hearing all the shooting. He comes out, he ran out of the shower covered in soap, didn't even bother to dry off, sat down on his wife's favorite white pillow, bare-butted, and sat there and played that game for 2 hours until she got home from work.
Wow.
She was not happy.
Wow. Well, we do have our priorities mixed up most times, men. That's why I think monogamy is weird. I think honestly it's relatively new. I do think monogamy is like relatively new. Most of the time,
in the grand scheme of things, I think
men were promoted to have like a whole bunch of girls.
Well, yeah, that's just as many as you can. It's a breeding thing. It's a perpetuation of the species.
You literally had like a stable of girls just to have babies,
right?
Like
it sounds like a lot of work nowadays. Is what that sounds.
Well, you didn't really raise them; you just had them. You just
they were just there,
right? Exactly. Yeah. You just to say you had them. That's all. To pass down money to. You had so much money, you need to have babies to give it to.
Yeah. I guess if you had that kind of money, then
I don't have a problem with monogamy. I really don't. I'm a mama's boy. I want that for everything, but it just seems like nobody who has it is happy with it. So it's like I don't want to make that.
I just put the persona
make that trade. Plus
because there are moments. It's like everything else in life. There are ups and downs to it. I mean, there are moments that I'm that most happily married man in the world, and then there are moments that I just don't want to come home at the end of the day. And I hope everybody has that. I hope it's not just me that gets that.
So is your wife ever home when you're the happiest married man on earth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes when everything's clicking, it's a grand thing. But,
if I had some good examples, there's very few good examples. If I had some good examples of like people who are like really like happy, like most times people just have survived each other. Like they're just, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just like we made it.
Yeah, they come out limping,
or they're just
war
like
wounds,
or they're just like super competitive. Like I'm gonna make sure that you die before me. Like, like I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of me dying before you.
There's a lot of that, I'm sure. I think a lot of the reason my wife hasn't run off yet is her mother. But shit,
that doesn't sound.
Yeah, you don't have to worry because she won't listen to this show anyway. I don't exist in her world. There's a whole long story that I really won't tell on the air about my in-laws and our relationship, but. Basically, her mom said when we were first planning to get married, she said 6 months and you'll be right back here. You'll get away from that. I was the fat alcoholic with no future. That's actually one of the first things she said.
Wow, she seems to be a good judge of character.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And at first I thought, other than appearance, I thought I was talking to my dad. It's like, man, I've heard that all my life. Doesn't bother me a bit.
So what's like what do you miss most about not having a wife though? Like there has to be.
I don't know, and since like 1998, I have been single for only about 3 months.
Wow, you don't miss.
I got divorced. My first marriage was about 8 years. Too long.
Dang her.
And I was, I think after the divorce, I was single for about probably 3 months, and I started dating my wife now. And we dated for quite a while, and before, So it's
you don't miss sluts or anything like am I allowed to say sluts on the air?
I guess so. I've never really had an
to be honest
for them.
though. To be honest, I don't believe in sluts. I don't believe in it. I think it's a myth.
Well,
I think sluts are a myth.
They exist.
No, I think that's a myth. I think that a woman, like I think that men just don't understand that sometimes a girl just picks you.
Yeah.
Like if a girl picks you and you're the dude she wants to like just cast her worries aside with, then, you know, she may come off as that. But I don't, unless you like see her leave your room and then like go to another dude's room.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I just don't believe.
Right. Yeah. Back
because
to back
I've seen,
that.
like, I've been like, I've found out some stuff. Like I've like, cause I'm older now. When I was younger, I was a little bit more out there. Now I don't really, I'm kind of boring. I'm old. The most exciting thing I do lately is Dave and Buster's. I love Dave and Buster's. Like that's the most exciting thing that I do. Other than, you know, travel the world, ladies. But anyway, but yeah, so like you'll meet a girl and then like, you know, it'll seem to be seamless and easy. And then you'll leave that scenario of like, oh, she was just kind of a promiscuous, you know, sluttery. And then you find out you'll find out later, like, oh wow, that girl like only been with like 2 dudes and everybody's been trying to get with her, but nobody can. And I was the only one who did. And like, I thought all my friends did, but they talking about they didn't. And it's like, oh, so that girl just picked me.
Yeah.
Like she was just.
Yeah. And then you feel like a.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I don't believe, so, you know, to all potential sluts, I feel like you are the backbone of America, and don't let anybody change your sluttery.
Oh, I'm getting a letter for this show for sure.
It's not. I think that's a technical term.
Yeah, it should be. We'll coin. Well, we wouldn't. We'd really be the ones to coin it, but
I don't know. Does it have a definition? I don't even know if it has a definition.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think it exists. Power.
That's why I don't really miss them, 'cause I've
empower.
never. I mean, even if they were there, I've never really had an affinity towards them. I've always been more I guess I've always been more the monogamous type. You know, more the relationship type. I think there's only been there have been some that scared. I did date a young lady after my first divorce, in between, before I started dating my wife, that she scared me off. And she was really nice, really sweet, really pretty. She had 3 kids, and I think it was like my second date. I picked her up at her house. She invited me in. I sat down on the couch. Her mom's there to meet me. And one of her kids, the little 3-year-old kid, jumped up in my lap and hugged me and said, "Daddy." And I was like, I gotta go.
Well, that's always been my issue. Like I seem to always come off as more of a husband material type dude, which I probably am.
Isn't a bad thing.
No. I don't take it as a bad thing, but it's just like you can't make that decision or that judgment so early, or it freaks dudes out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it just makes it seem like you're just hunting for a husband, and I'm just the closest dude to you at the time. Like,
right?
I feel like you have to just take your time with it. Like,
I don't even think my divorce was final at that point. It had been filed like 2 months before.
Yeah.
And I just came out of an 8-year marriage, which was from a 10-year relationship, and to be daddy that quick. Because I mean, they were good kids, nothing, you know. And she was a great person, but that was just, I think, too much reality all at once.
Yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, no, it's just I've always been scared of moving quickly, because I'm not really like a cosmetic relationship dude. Like once I'm in a relationship, like I'm all in. Like I'm all in. You have all of me. I'm, you know, loyal I'm way too loyal. It takes a lot to get to know me, but once you do, you're in. Like there's no going anywhere. Like you are, like I'll do anything for you. You know what I'm saying? So I have to, like, you know, curb who I give that to.
Yeah, you have to be
selective, I don't want to be
about that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's you could be way too loyal and just end up, you know, the getaway driver at some point. and you know what I mean? And I'm not above it. Like, I will be the getaway driver. I'm a very good driver.
Oh, well, that's good. Here's this weekend's comedy rundown brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Friday through Sunday, December 15th through the 17th, Steve Wilson is going to be at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Along with him is going to be Mike Paramore, so be sure to get out there and check him out. Friday through Saturday, December 15th and 16th, Patty G's Reindeer Games with Pat Godwin is at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in the Oregon District. Saturday, December 16th, Rascals Comedy Night at the Spirited Goat Cafe at 118 Dayton Street in Yellow Springs. Sunday, December 17th, as always, a comics hang and workshop at Wiley's Comedy Club at 5 p.m., followed by Wiley's Sunday Comics at 8 p.m. Tuesday, December 19th, Story Slam Dayton is going to be back at Wiley's Comedy Club. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows, and have a good weekend.
We need a drink on
Wednesdays on Eventide, Robert Yetter and Mike Shea sit down and throw albums at each other, talking about them, picking them apart, ripping them a new one. All different artists, all different genres, all different levels of suckage. It's Track Record, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on the Eventide podcast feed. For more information, go to eventideent.com.
Man, what else is there to talk about? I think we've hit a little bit of everything already today in just a short time.
That's very interesting. Yeah, no, I'm hoping that people come out to the shows. I'm at the Dayton Funny Bone this week. And,
you're at Dayton Funny Bone this week?
Yeah, the Dayton Funny Bone this week, and first show's tonight, and it's gonna be fun. They're gonna hand me a microphone, and I'm gonna be stupid.
Who are you there with?
Steve Wilson.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because I have my rundown on the sheet. I was like, well, I didn't see Mike at Dayton. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Steve Wilson. He asked me to come through. He's a cool guy. We haven't worked together in a while, so it was cool to get his call. And I, stopped through and headlined in Toledo on my way down. So it was cool. It's gonna be a fun weekend.
Yeah. Dayton Funny Bone is a great place. It's a great place for comedy. I love the audiences there. Back when I was performing more, and they would let us in. But
I think it's a cool place. I think I've always been more of a fan of the more intimate, smaller spots. The corporate spots are cool, because they don't, they give you all types of stuff. Like they give you things.
Well, yeah,
and so that's cool.
They're the big chain,
right?
They
give you
money
things
to throw around.
So, but the smaller, more intimate, shows are always more fun. Like Wiley's is always a great time because it's everybody's kind of right there, and it's like it just feels like you're drinking in a dorm room and like just having a just having a conversation, and it's so.
That's a good compliment.
It's so much. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so I'm there this weekend, and I don't know, dude. So I want to know if people gonna come to the show. If you if you hit me up on Facebook and say that you heard this broadcast, I will get you in for free. I will give you tickets. If you hit me up on Facebook, my name is Mike Paramore, Paramore, Mike Paramore. I think it's Mike Paramore Comedy on Facebook, but Instagram and Twitter is at Mike Paramore Jr. If you hit me up on social media and say that you heard this, I'll give you some free tickets.
Well, there you go. Hopefully we have some listeners that'll take you up on that.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Because Dayton Funny Bone is always a good time. I've had a good time every time I've been there.
Yeah.
That's why, even though I'm partial to Wiley's, for obvious reasons, Dayton Funny Bone is a great place. Megan, the general manager there, she's awesome.
She's amazing. She takes care of me like we are family. She's so awesome.
Yeah. So what else you got going on? You got Dayton Funny Bone this weekend. You got
Dayton Funny Bone this weekend. Columbus Funny Bone next week, starting Monday. They're doing a Christmas show on Monday. I got another corporate gig I'm headlining on Tuesday. And then Wednesday through Saturday is a comics come home type of thing that I'll be closing out usually. And that's gonna be fun because Columbus doesn't have any competition. Like it's just the one comedy club, so it's
Really?
always packed.
Oh wow.
It's always packed. Columbus could definitely support another club, but it's always packed. And the more drunken white people, the funner it usually gets.
Yeah, that's a recipe for a good show there.
I've had I do a gig in the Bahamas every year, and I literally had a girl walk on stage and flash me.
Wow.
Walk on
Up
stage.
close and personal.
Walk on stage and flash me. And I'm thinking, okay, so I am going to, get to know this girl. Find out what her personality is like.
Yeah, yeah. 'cause
Maybe
that's-
meet her parents. But
Yeah.
turns out she was married and her husband was in the audience. That's how friendly white girls are. Here's my thing about white girls. To me, white girls are exotic. I love white women. But they're way too nice and polite. So they give you these false, like flirty, like, so you'll flirt with them and you're like, oh, this is going to go great. I should ask her for a number. And then so you ask her and she'll be like, well, no, I'm happily married. I'm like, well,
Well,
you just, why did you kiss me in the mouth then? Like, why did you, like, I don't understand what we've been
halfway off already. What?
like they come to you after the show and they're just, it's probably just something I have to get used to. It's it's probably just a cultural thing that I just have to get used to. But they're like so warm and welcoming, and if a black girl is talking to you for more than 3 minutes, she likes you. Like there's no equivocations. Like she just won't be as open and as affectionate and as like white girls will come to you and ask you for a hug. I'm like, oh my gosh, sure, let's hug. And then I'm like, okay, so you want to go get a drink? Oh no, I'm not interested I don't date.
Just wanted to
Like
hug.
it's like you just like like they're the most honest people ever. Like they'll say something and they mean literally just that. It's like, I just want to hug. It's like, so you just literally just wanted a hug.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right, that's new. I've never
Yeah. Okay.
like, okay, cool. But I don't understand. Yeah, it throws me off all the time. Like I think the first time it happened to me, like it hurt, like my feelings. I remember being after a show. I was setting up my merchandise. The headliner was on stage. She walks out. She goes to the bathroom, walks past the table, comes back, and sees me. Starts talking to me. Oh, great show, da da da. And she ended up talking to me the entire time. Like she never went back into the showroom. We talked for like 35 minutes. And not about
you're thinking there's
not
there's
about
some
regular
things
stuff. We were talking about like risque things, like
Oh,
stuff
wow.
she like not like overt, but like
Right.
stuff she liked, and like she she was kidding about her panty size. Like she was like flirting. To me,
Yeah.
it seemed like she was flirting. So the end of the conversation happens, and I'm like, let's grab a drink after this. Let's do, I don't want this to be the last time I see it. It's something I said. I can't remember what it was, but it was something along the lines of, let's continue this conversation. And she was like, oh, I just want you to know I have a boyfriend. And this is the first time this has happened to me. So I'm thinking like, there's no way after this 30-minute conversation and what we were talking about that she's not all the way into me. There's no way. So I'm thinking, okay, so maybe she's just telling me she has a boyfriend, letting me know that, hey,
Yeah,
this can't
in
be
case,
anything
yeah.
serious, or I have a boyfriend, I'm interested, but she's just letting me know. It's not a rejection. She's just letting me know she has a boyfriend. I was like, okay. I was like, well,
Right,
I'm sure
just
we
putting
can.
all the cards on the table.
Right, exactly. So I'm just like, okay, no problem. We'll just, we'll come up with an excuse why you came home late today. You know what I'm saying? We'll come up with. And then she's like, well, he's in the showroom. I'm like, wait a minute. So you've been missing for 35 minutes? You went to go use the bathroom and have not returned. Somebody is waiting for you right now.
And he's not going to have
He's
questions.
in the showroom while you're out here flirting with me. And I'm just like, you know what? So now
Did you check your watch to see how much time you had
I'm
before?
just like, I was just completely blown away. I'm like, there's no way that happens on like, how is that even possible? So now I'm in this mode where I'm just like, unless like a white girl hands me like a handwritten note that she likes me, I don't think she's interested. I'm
Unless
always
you
just
actually
assuming,
literally get a written invitation. Yeah.
and I'm always just assuming, okay, she's just being polite and nice. She's not interested. Because it all, to me, like I said, maybe culturally, it just all looks like interest. Because
Yeah.
it's hugs, affection,
Well, yeah, that's
and oh, your beard, and like they'll touch your beard and touch your head, and like to me, it all looks like affection and interest. Because these are all things that would not happen unless somebody wanted to date you.
right.
But like, no, white girls are just like, no, this is just life. This is how we do
Yeah,
things.
we just like.
I mean, it's
they-
great
they
now
do
that
experiences.
it's good
and
now that I've
touching beards
accepted
and,
it for what it is. It's only bad when you think, oh, well, I'm gonna go to Bar Louie and buy her drink. You know what I'm saying? It's when you think
Right.
it's more, then it's like, okay, I just want to jump off something. But if you know it is for what it is, it's cool now. Like I'm okay with it now because I'm well versed in not
Right.
assuming anymore. But for a minute there, it was I
yeah, you thought you were in.
I was like, I am the most attractive, I'm the most sought after black guy in this. No, like I just did like
you thought for sure.
right. I thought I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't
You were
know
going
what
to
it
get a
is.
T-shirt made.
I don't-
Everything.
I don't know what it is, but my mom is just gonna have to get used to the idea of me with a white woman because they love me.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe I should have married a white woman. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go ahead and plug your show one more time and any social media. I know you have your website as well.
Yeah. I'm reluctantly on social media. I kick and scream, but I'm on it, and I post things, and I consider myself pretty funny. And then you can see I travel a lot, so you can see where I am, and I do cruises and colleges. So I'm always in weird places, posting pictures of weird things. Mike Paramore. Paramore, MikeParamore.com is the website. At Mike Paramore Jr. is Twitter and Instagram. Hit me up on Facebook. I always post where I'm gonna be this weekend. I'm at the Dayton Funny Bone with Steve Wilson. Please come out. It's gonna be real crazy. You're not gonna regret it. If you hit me up on social media and mention this broadcast, I will get you some free tickets. And please, if you're a white girl, please come hug me after the show. I'm used to it now. Let's do it.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. Thanks for all your effort to get here.
Thank you,
for
man.
me
Thanks
to
for having
barely
me.
make it too.
I feel very important. I felt like this was meant to be.
Well, it had to have been. Otherwise, that wouldn't have happened. Well, I appreciate you coming in, Mike Paramore. Thanks a lot.
You, man.
Have a great time at the Dayton Funny Bone. Anybody else, get out there to the Dayton Funny Bone. Check out Mike and Steve Wilson out there. And I will be back next Wednesday at my regular time.
With pants.
Yeah, with pants, most likely. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to the Life Podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment's Podcast Network. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can always stream the show live at WWSU1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email us at thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
You have the voice of somebody with a promising future. And then you see you and you're like, okay, I get it.
Oh,
It's not all
he
right.
had a promising future in 1993.